Welcome back to another episode of Seek Therapy Podcast. I'm going to say that this is a micro special edition episode. It is the Jasmine show this week.
Welcome.
Welcome to the minds of two cancers.
Strap in.
Are you ready? It's been a minute. How have you been? What's been your highlight? What's been your challenge? You I'm
Yeah,
like, you could start off.
sure. Okay. My highlight is that I'm back in grad school after taking a leave of absence for bereavement and
Pup, period.
doing it. So I will officially be finished. I'll be a licensed therapist in these streets next summer. Uh,
Period.
yeah, and I'm ready to just cut up. And now, uh, I feel like the last 6 months I've been on this cusp of change. And you can get wrapped up in school and life and paying bills and
Hmm.
everything that comes with that. And it's like, no, like I am, uh, the reason I started school was to change my life. And I am one summer away from doing that. So that is scary, but yet exhilarating at the same time. Uh,
Yes.
That's definitely a highlight. I went ahead and reached out to my professors because, of course, the subject of suicide is prevalent uh, with everything that we do. And so I'm
Hmm.
currently taking psychopharmacology and crisis and trauma response. And so, of course, suicide is wrapped up in both of those topics.
Right.
Reaching out to your professors, uh, letting them know if you're in my position or something similar, just let them know what's going on with you. Especially if
Hmm.
you're taking school online, don't get caught up in being a number in the system.
Yeah.
Reach out.
Advocate for yourself.
Yeah, yeah, just that simple. I tell my students to do that all the time. And so as a student, I did that. So it was rough getting my footing back in just with juggling
Hmm.
thing and being a student for the first time, really. I turned in some things late, but like I tell the kids, it's better to take a late grade than a zero.
Right.
Don't be a zero, ho. And I would say just my challenge has been really my eating habits. I really need to kick this Carrie Bradshaw lifestyle that I've had since COVID and like start
Bitch.
eating like who the fuck
Like, are you talking about the DoorDash
I
stuff?
stopped door dashing so much. Now I'll get my ass up and actually go get the food.
She's
But, but I have a freezer full of stuff that like I need to
hmm.
cook or like it's freezer burnt. So what am I really doing? You know,
Yeah.
my family. I have two family trips to Mexico and Thailand this year.
Ooh.
You know, what are we doing? You trying to feel this way and leaving the U.S. or we gonna do
Hmm.
it now? So those are the talks I'm having with myself,
Yeah.
and they're challenging.
Period. We be having those conversations.
Yes. Did I have a Whataburger last night? And if you're from Texas, you understand. Yes, I did.
What a burger is just
Don't
basic.
don't be disrespectful.
Ah,
No, In and Out is gross. So we can,
it's gross.
yes. Okay. What's trash about In and Out are those fries.
Well,
So I just feel like that discounts everything. If you're a burger place and your fries are trash, how can I trust you? That's like going to a Mexican restaurant and their chips and salsa's trash. How can I trust
hmm. Mm. While you have a opinion, it is yours. So, because the way them grilled onions be smelling up in my nose, honey, she's gonna get a little lettuce wrap because
oh
she's back into it.
crap?
Yeah, yeah. So that brings me to my highlight.
What's going on with you?
My highlight is that I am back in that mode. I'm day 20 of my workout challenge out of 30.
Wow.
and she's making progress. She's tracking her meals. She's being honest about what she's tracking and making it happen. And so I really love when I'm like in it, because they had for social workers month, they gave out lunch for our PD, and it was a burrito, chicken burrito, rice and beans. Like they had everything. Okay, honey. And I like that.
Yeah. What you do?
And it was no carb day. And so I stayed to
Mm.
my meal prep and ate my salad. And I was like, I'm proud of myself, because in the past I was incapable of holding myself accountable. I mean, just absolutely just, it's donuts, let's get it. Yes, so that has been good. Also, I came into my office on Friday and there was like a nice gift on my desk because it's social workers month, and it was from a assistant principal that I really don't interact with. So I was just like, okay, thank
Hey.
you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And then my coworker gave us gifts, and so I also got some stuff that I'm gonna give everyone. I got some coloring books, some social workers coloring books. So there was a black social workers one, so I bought that one for myself and my coworker. But then there was just a regular, like sarcastic, snarky social workers coloring book. So I'm gonna give that to them. Some coloring pencils. I'm gonna go to Bath and Body Works, get some like stress relief, hand sanitizer, and just here. I appreciate you. So
No.
that, and I'm like, somehow, some way, I finished. Let me double check my Goodreads. I finished
17 books.
right. I finished 2 books this month already.
Whoa.
So she's back in her mode.
Love that.
And I've been fighting to get here. So it feels good to be here. Um, a challenge that I had this week was just that, Janae's in daycare and she's always sick. She's always sick. Like, wow. So last week we ended up having to, well, no, last week she went to school. I had cramps.
Mm,
And this is what's important, y'all. I want y'all to check the expiration on your medication. I want you to check it.
mm,
And don't be like me, because I took some medication for my cramps around 4 in the morning when I got up to work out, and I got to work and it still hadn't hit. And I was like, what's that? Like, I'm in pain. I'm actively in pain.
mm.
I had to leave work early because I was like, I can't do this. I need to just lay down. My medication was from 2021. We
Okay.
in
Fine.
2023.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, could you have taken double the dosage?
Bitch.
Wait. What?
You know what you could have done? Just go to Target and get some not expired medication.
The other day, I cut myself, and I happened to be on the phone with my mom, and I was like, "Man, my alcohol is was it expired in November?" And she was like, "No such thing." And
Well,
it's
alcohol.
returned, so it'd be like that.
And if the big adult said that, then
Right.
um so yeah, just not feeling well. That was my challenge, and I feel like my attendance has just been a mess, and what can I do about it? Because I have a kid. So it is what it is. But I've been feeling good. I've been doing a lot of good work in the schools. Somebody's mom that relative that I was talking to on the phone told me, and I quote, please tell your mom, God bless you for having you,
Oh,
end quote. And I was like, I'm a cancer, so uh, do you want me to cry right now or 10 seconds? Because it's coming. So that was just nice just to be like validated and things like that and know that people see the work that I'm doing. But y'all know that I love to put people onto new things that I am reading, working out to, listening, watching,
Hmm.
all of that. So
Is that
let's go ahead and put the people on to new. What's new with you, boo?
I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet. I'm on spring break. I'm out here. And
Period.
yeah, one, I get why teachers get summers off and breaks because it is a lot. But it is
Mm-hmm.
dope that I have a week off built into
Mm-hmm.
the schedule and that I will still be collecting a check
Mm-hmm.
in summer. Yeah, I'm psyched. So I'm going to take advantage of this time and actually get ahead on my schoolwork for grad school because I could see it's a struggle turning things in on time. So it's like, let's just go ahead and do everything this week. And then when I
Yeah.
I'm just writing out these last 6 weeks, this last report card, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Period. Set yourself up for success.
Yeah. Mm,
Well, mine, y'all know that I've been reading about a Kindle and I love it. I got the Kindle Paperwhite, so
yeah.
it looks just like a book. I'm going to show the people that watch us on YouTube, all seven of y'all. Woo woo.
Oh my
This
god.
is all right. This is the dark mode, so you can read at night and not have that bright light, but I love it. They made us, well, we don't have to do supervision at lunch anymore, so I was bringing it out for that cuz I'm like I'm going to make the time pass, you know. But regardless, that's that's bae. We went to the nail shop. I wasn't struggling trying to have my book open. I was like, this is it.
Mhm.
So I love going to the bookstore. I love having the physical books, but I also love that Kindle because I could get my book in 2 seconds. $3.99 instead of $12.99 at Target, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so I feel like I read quicker on my
Way faster.
yeah. I
And it defined the words
yes.
and
Yes.
translates like, what more do I need?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's something about that paperweight because um I ended up getting like I don't have an iPad, but it's a little mini tablet, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just not the same on a tablet like it is that can.
Mm-mm. Yeah. I feel like I'd be reading faster. I read a book in a day.
Damn.
That shit was good though. It's called The Housemaid, y'all. The Housemaid. Woo! Is
Mm,
that a is that a book? Well, we was talking about reality TV
we were.
and how it can be addicting
Yeah.
and how people can misuse it. I'm like, is that how I want to say it? Like using it as a means of like figuring out how to interact with people.
Okay.
So a lot of the students that I work with have Zeus. And
Oh.
telling I was telling Jasmine, I was like, Zeus could be so great if it wasn't Zeus.
No, straight up. Straight
Because
up.
it's like a black owned and operated network. Um,
Mm,
and unfortunately, all that it offers is trash.
damn. Yeah. Yeah, I agree because the whole Jocelyn's Cabaret, it has that's what I paid for Zeus for is to have access to that. And it has such the potential to it's like someone,
actually be something.
yeah, someone somewhere, I guess, gave the pitch, I'm assuming, and it can be, taking strippers, scripples, and they be calling each other prostitutes, and I'm
Right.
sure there's some of that going
Or
on.
O threes.
Yeah, or like the bottom bitch culture and
Right.
that. I'd like look that shit up. I was like, no, what the fuck is going on? But I see it now, and so it's an opportunity to where Jocelyn is in a position to where like I can help you find some independence and pivot
Mhm.
this, or
Right.
with the possibility that you can pivot if you so choose to. And instead of that, you see, in my opinion, Jocelyn uh, keeping the cycle of,
Going.
yeah, of
Of
that
abuse. Yes.
abuse. Yeah. And and I understand that it's a cultural thing. Like it's some facets of life that some of us aren't going to be exposed to. But
Mhm.
the good thing that we can say, like Zeus is exposing us to that. There's things that like I just wouldn't have known. You know what I mean? Like, man, it's so riveting to watch. You know what I mean? I do like the uncensoredness of it, right? Like, show me the full fight. Are there some titties flying around? Sure. You know,
There are a lot of I mean, the first episode, just butt ass naked. I said, "Oh,
you know what I mean? If you're gonna sneak off on somebody, then chances are your boob's gonna fall out. You know what I mean? So yeah, it'd be like that. It'd be like that.
it does." And I have access to Zeus. Shout out to my best friend. But I watch it because one, like that escapism. So the work that I do is rough. I'm hearing all kinds of shit and I'm helping people navigate that and process it. And so sometimes I just want to watch something that is mindless. And it tends to be like baddies or
Yeah.
bad boys club, you know all that ratchet shit because I was like, okay, these people are famous on the Shade Room for something. What is it?
Mm, yeah.
And I don't follow the Shade Room or anything, but people do be sending me stuff. And so I'm like, who did what with who? Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
So, I watch it because also my students watch it. And I want to see what they are exposing themselves to. And that helps me to understand why they navigate and operate the way that they do and why they're so ready to pop off, right?
Yeah.
So,
Representation matters.
right. And that's the kind of representation that I don't want them watching because
Yeah.
that's what life is like for them.
Yeah. No, that is wild. I watching Zeus as an adult is it's a different lens, right? Especially someone with a psychology background. I tend to watch reality TV and I'll be real quick to like
Real
psychoanalyze
quick to
somebody.
diagnose.
Like, girl, you really doing this because 2 episodes ago you said whoop, whoop, and real quick to
Right.
do. Um, but to navigate that as an adolescent, I mean
And
we
your brain. And
love
also, can we also mention the fact that their brain's not fully developed yet?
exactly right. So they don't know what the fuck is what. And so yeah, so we just I mean, yeah, I would say the ratchetest thing we had on TV when we were their age was Flavor of Love, and
And
like
Bad Girls Club.
in Bad Girls Club. Yeah, I didn't start watching that until college, is when I was put onto that. Um, yeah, but then again, in college, it's like you're drinking, you know, with your
Right, you was on Bad Girls Club, bitch.
right, bunch of women with daddy issues in one house, no media to keep themselves occupied, but unlimited alcohol.
Mhm,
What's bound to happen?
mhm.
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
also the real world to show us bad choices.
right. And I was like, okay, this kind of boring,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there was a couple seasons that I did get into. What was so Flavor of Love was like the first reality show that you watched?
That I can recall, yeah. Definitely the first reality show that I'm watching all the way through. Episode
Mhm.
Reunion, definitely.
Mhm.
I remember.
Yeah. When did I'm trying to think like when did like Basketball Wives and stuff like that come out? Cuz I remember watching that because Drea was on it and I was like, "Oh, she's so cute and I want to dress like her, so let me get some fashion inspo." But then also I would the first kind of reality shows that I was watching was the white ones, like The Hills on MTV,
Oh, really?
Laguna Beach.
Well,
Yeah.
your neck of the woods, basically, right?
Yeah, because I live in Orange County now, so yes, but
Didn't come out until April 2010. So that was a senior then.
which one?
Basketball Wives, that first season.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was when I was in college already too. What about Bad Girls Club?
Let's see. I'm curious about that too. So season one, that came out in '07.
Yeah, so I was definitely on it.
I remember, I mean, like there are iconic moments from that, right? Um,
Mhm.
what is it? I ain't get no
I ain't
sleep.
gonna sleep
Y'all
because of y'all.
get no sleep because I'm me, right? I be doing that to my cats. Piss me off. I remember Natalie Nunn getting read to filth for her chin. Um,
Her behavior was I tried to rewatch it because, like I said, I'd be watching baddies and I was like, oh, she's just the worst. Ew.
is she?
Yeah.
I thought she was like executive producing and stuff back.
Oh, that's what I wanted to touch on because you said something about Jocelyn. I think that what the big issue with those shows actually being positive is the fact that the people that are executive producers are also on the show and trying to assert like their dominance. And so they be fighting too. So it's like this isn't giving what you think it's giving because you think that you're here when really you're here and they're like here. Like
Yeah.
y'all are doing the same things. Um, because I was watching because she is baddie, she's on baddies, like she's in the house with
With the
them.
basket.
She stirs up the shit and just be like,
Looking
yeah,
around.
yo, we gotta stop. We gotta stop this. After you just told this bitch what this bitch said, like,
Hmm.
and so it's like you could like take these girls under your wing and try and tell them like, hey, this is what I learned from my experiences on these shows. But no, it's like, what you gonna do about that? You need to get your lick back.
No, straight up. Jocelyn does the same thing. And I
No,
feel
she and Jocelyn, she'll call them $2 hoes.
be the first one to be like, I kid you not, she was like, I'll take your ass back to
It's
the
straight
her to
to
back to.
violence.
But I distinctively remember watching Love and Hip Hop, and that
Mm,
was Stevie J's big thing, right?
yeah,
That was his abusive thing to her. Is like, I'll just take you back to the club, like you ain't shit without me.
right,
And to then see her perpetuate that same thing back, I just all that is just vicious cycles.
right.
Um, when she is now in a position to really,
Make a difference.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But then it's also back to it being Zeus because Zeus is so raggedy. And I was looking at the whole library because I thought that it was just like these baddie shows and Jocelyn, and I was like, okay, they have like other shows. I was like,
really. When I was on there, it was only like 5 options.
no, they have a lot of options. The options ain't great at all. Like they gave anybody that was had any sort of clout a show on there. So like
Okay.
Don Benjamin had a show of him without a shirt on, cooking with random people. Like it was just like they
Shirtless.
gave anyone.
That doesn't seem safe. He must not have been frying anything.
Well, no, it did not go far. And it was like 8 minutes long. So
Oh, yeah,
they knew it wasn't given. But, the thing that really concerns me about it is that the fact that there are so many kids with access to it, watching it, and learning behaviors from that. I mean,
yeah,
just and even Jocelyn's Cabaret, right? Like breaking down the strip club industry and things like that, and kids are just tuned in.
yeah. Do
Now,
you
oh, sorry,
do you find any of your students aspiring to those lifestyles or
to be on one of those shows. Yes, I've had a student tell me like, "Yeah, I want to be on Baddies," and I was like, "Let's sit down and talk about that."
mm,
Why?
okay,
What is it that you want to do? You
yeah,
know, um, but for a lot of kids, like they don't see too many other options for them. And so it's like, oh, all they doing is smoking, drinking, turning up. Like I could do that. I want to do that.
right. The party keeps going.
Chile. Chile.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of sources, especially if you Google why reality TV is so addictive, things like that. A lot of sources are going to compare it to using drugs. Uh, the
Really.
the excitement that we get from watching these shows, the anticipation
Mm-hmm.
of these shows are akin to being addicted to a drug. Uh,
Hmm.
what it all boils down to is that dopamine, the hormone that makes us feel good, is ultimately released into our brains when we're watching these shows. Uh, some of them give us a sense of safety, right? Like, ooh,
Yeah.
girl, I know, like, I watched Survivor. I started watching Survivor over the pandemic. And so, like, that makes me feel safe, right? My best friend, she got me into the show. She would do it. I'm not going out there. I
Mm-mm.
I need plumbing, and I don't like my hands and feet to be wet and just cold. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's an immediate no for me. Like I know myself, you
It's
know.
a firm one.
Yeah. And I am kicking the habit of biting my nails. So like having the dirt and stuff constantly under your nail, like that's gonna be a problem for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, no, no. But there are certain shows and reasons we watch that make us feel safe. I would relate it more to wanting to escape reality rather than
Mm-hmm.
addicted. A lot of us just have a lot of shit going on, and it's nice to just kick on something for an hour, hour and a half, and just block it out. RuPaul's
Right.
Drag Race does that for me.
Oh my God, I love Drag Race.
I could be in a bad mood. I can put on it's just certain seasons, right? And it's just like
Mm-hmm.
put that on, let it play. It could be playing in the background. And it's just, it just makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely can relate to that. And I think also in terms of reality shows, that is one of my favorite ones, just because you get to know the queens and see like how far they've come and the things that they've gone through and show up and show out. And so it just really does inspire me. Um, I love it. I love it. I haven't caught up on this current season, but I definitely love it. Um, Also, the Netflix reality TV shows, The
Yeah.
Circle. I love The Circle.
I haven't watched The Circle. I've watched Love is Blind. I haven't watched The Circle. Is that the one where they have to deceive each other?
You're not, so it's not necessarily deceiving each other. It's just like having a social media presence, living in a house, like in a apartment by yourself. and the only interaction that you have is through the screen of the social media thing. So the whole point is to become the influencer, which means like you're like the most liked. But I really like it because people are connecting and forming connections with people that they don't even know if they're who they say they are. Um, and then you also see a lot of growth and things like that. So I really like the circle. It do get spicy because it's people, there's always gonna be some element of drama, but I do like it, and it's not as messy as like Potomac, where where it's just a lot at
Can
once.
we talk about the Housewives? What are your franchises?
So mine are Atlanta and Potomac. That's all I watch. Black.
Like everything. I will dabble in, same for me, Potomac and Atlanta. Atlanta's my number one. I've been watching that
Hmm.
damn near the first season.
Right.
Um, I will dabble into New Jersey just because Teresa is that prostitution. If you know, you know. I still quote that. Um, and then over the pandemic, I checked out Beverly Hills. Don't get me wrong, I mean, it's just, white women problems, you know what I mean? What new Fendi bag to get this week. But yeah, they, more money, more problems for them over there, I'll tell you that.
I believe it.
But Potomac just ended. So are you caught up with that?
I'm not caught up with it, but I will
Okay.
make an effort to watch it.
Okay. I will say this, it's not too much of a spoiler, but colorism is an ongoing issue with the cast of Potomac.
Hmm.
A lot
But
of
that's not surprising.
right, right. But that's been an issue of theirs since the first season, if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, yeah.
I mean, that area, from what I hear, because my cousin recently moved there, that area subscribes to like light is right. And
Hmm,
um
I can see that.
and my cousin is not even like dark skin, but she is experiencing colorism and different treatment based on her skin tone
Wow.
versus others. Um, and so it's reality,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Not cool at all because ain't nobody better than anybody.
that part.
And I don't know what, because also that was brought up on Basketball Wives. But the girl who brought that up, it was like, nah, bitch, they don't like you.
It was shut down immediately.
Like, no, no, you're just a mess. So
Right.
sorry.
It's not us,
Uh,
sweetie.
right. Do you ever find yourself like acting differently after watching a lot of reality TV?
No, but I do that when I leave a good movie. I'll be real quick to like karate chop somebody if that's what they were doing in the movie and stuff, or acting dramatic afterwards. But not reality TV. No. Mm-mm.
I've noticed like an energy change. So,
Okay.
like I said, when I was watching Potomac, no, not Potomac, Married to Medicine.
Okay.
I was binging that, and the first couple of seasons are just like they always fighting, they always cussing, they always yelling at each other. Like it's aggressive. And I noticed myself like feeling more anxious and like on edge after binge watching it. And so I was like, maybe I should just keep this at like a 1 to 2 episode max kind of thing.
Okay.
Um, But I want to just encourage other people to make sure that you are mixing up what you're watching so that you're not only watching reality TV, because sometimes some of the messaging and things that we are watching and that can be harmful for us, and we may not notice it right then and there, but maybe after the fact. So just making sure that you are adding in a little Abbott Elementary, something lighthearted as well, because all that reality TV can be a little bit much for me.
Yes. Don't reality TV, go to bed. Just like watching a scary movie, right?
Oh,
Put something lighthearted on between watching
immediately after.
watch with caution. I will
Yeah.
say, to piggyback off of that, I can probably only watch maybe one or not even currently. Years past, I can't tell you when the last time exactly, but I like Kardashians.
Oh
They
my gosh.
they're that's not something I could binge watch at any point of like it's just yeah. And the older I get, the more I see through the facade. And yeah, and it's just it's not something that I currently watch, but in the past I did, and that was something you had to take like one, maybe two episodes at a time because it's just so, what are you doing?
Yeah. And they're just like making big deals out of nothing.
Mostly
And
not.
they're just like talking like this the whole time. I mean, can you literally not? I don't understand why she was so rude to me. Like, I
Yeah.
did nothing. And it's just like, bitch, wake up. Like,
Ah, wake up.
what's
The things
happening?
that I checked out for with that show was when Rob, you could clearly see, and again, people with psych backgrounds watching reality TV, right? We do this to ourselves, but you could
Dude,
literally see, and what Robert Kardashian was saying was that him and his dad had a plan for him to college. And then his dad died, I think I guess before he started college. So he finishes college and he doesn't have the next step,
any
a
right.
pivot. And instead of, and I can't, again, this is just what we're seeing, right? But instead of like taking him under a wing and putting him on a path, getting him grief counseling and helping him process like this huge thing that's going on, it
Right.
is perceived as he doesn't fit into the family niche. And so, you know, here's your, I don't want to say hush money because what that's implied, for
Right.
business, but hush money as in the way of like you're taken care of, you can do the bare minimum, you know,
You can just
to
exist.
thrive,
Right.
exist, right, while the rest of us thrive. And that is something like that. For me, I checked out at that point because it was so clear and blatant. And to name your platform given off of your for the girls their for the women their maiden name, but
Right.
he is the Kardashian. Like
Right.
if it wasn't for him, the name wouldn't still go on. So how
Right.
are we leaving him by the wayside? On top of it's your baby brother, and I have younger brothers, and so you know what I mean. I can't see myself leaving them behind over some.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that also they seem to profit off of just the girls.
100%. Yeah.
And so they do tend to just, from what it looks like on
Right.
the outside looking in, because I have no idea what these people do in their day to day lives, nor do I care. Um, and I can note that it is harmful to see all this effort and energy given to all your siblings and seemingly none for you.
Yeah. Seemingly. Um,
Right.
I will also say that vanity, if you are caught up in the Kardashian cycle, more power to you for keeping up with it this long.
Mhm.
Sanity is the key thing there. Um,
Mhm.
and I'm just going to leave it on this. It feels and it seems exhausting to care what people think about you that much. It seems
Mhm.
exhausting,
Mhm.
you know. And again, I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum in a lot of ways, but it seems exhausting. I'm exhausted watching y'all
Right.
look exhausted.
Right. And then also the people that are so addicted that they have like these fan sites, Instagrams, Twitters, things like that.
Yeah.
Go to therapy.
Yes. That was not
Seek
a fault.
therapy.
Yes. Yes. No, for real. Damn. Yeah. That could be a whole another episode is like diving in
Mhm.
on the tropes and like breaking down, you know what I mean? This is what that is. Uh,
Mhm.
what do we think about social experiments? Do you watch any of those?
Oh, so like Love is Blind, Married at First Sight.
Yes.
Okay, let me finish my truly for this.
I'll start. So I got into Love is Blind. My stepsister and I, even at one point when they came to
That
Houston,
was during 2020, right?
yeah,
COVID?
yeah, they did like a Houston thing, and my stepsister and I were like, we should just sign up just for the fuck of it. And your face. Oh my god! And so of course we did, and because it's COVID, right? You know what we all doing. And then my dad was
Baking
like,
bread.
talking noise about us. Because our whole thing was like, of course we weren't going to get picked, right? First off, we're black women. They don't really pick a lot of us anyway.
Right.
They only watch, you know, one, maybe two on the show. But we just thought it was so funny of like how ironic would it be if they did pick us and like got all this going on in one family, right?
Right.
That would be some good TV. And then like the whole time just have my dad at the back, like, so yeah. And then of course he was like, y'all are crazy for doing that. And you know, and yeah, and then Love at First Sight or Love is Blind. What's the difference?
Married at First Sight is the one where you get married and that's the
Yeah.
first time that you see
Or
the
me or
person.
talk. This is a
Right.
complete
That's
stranger
the
we just
first
met.
time, which, like, fuck no.
Yes.
Because literally the only um relative that you get to choose is your spouse.
Hmm.
Why would you just leave that to just motherfuckers on
Yeah.
Netflix? I mean, on
They're
Lifetime.
doing no straight up, and all they're doing are like compatibility assessments. Um, and that's, I mean, I'm fairly certain that that's it. There's probably a background check, a compatibility assessment, and like who's gonna match the aesthetic of the show. And
Hmm.
that's it. You are legally married to a complete stranger, and you can't annul the shit.
You
Crazy.
can't, I think at the end, decision day, you can say, like, if you want to continue or if you want to get
But does it? I
but
guess
it's like to
yeah.
get a like, no, that's too extreme. It's too extreme for me personally. Um, I had to actually stop watching that one,
I did too.
Married at First Sight after um I didn't even finish that season. It was like, I don't know, just I couldn't do it.
Last one I
Um,
watched was New Orleans because it had like two or three black
New
couples.
Orleans was the one with
Don't ask
Ma-
me names.
Amaya, what's her name?
Yeah,
Amani.
yeah, that sounds familiar.
Amani and damn,
I
the
don't
brain
know.
ain't braining.
No, I just know there were two. I think there was two black
It was
couples.
Karen, right? It was Karen and
I don't know.
nigga.
Oh, Not the nigga one, nigga two.
Nigga
That's
one, nigga
for
two.
sure.
I liked that season though because those couples, it was a challenge, but
Hmm.
they got it together and they looked good, and you
Yeah.
know, I think it was the
Nice stuff.
season after that that I was like,
Yeah. Peace out.
y'all need to wrap it up. Oh, and that's what I was gonna bring up is that
Yeah.
these, like that one has a therapist on it.
Yes. Meredith First Sight does have therapists involved.
They need a black one. Um,
Black women, because they do have a black man.
and
But
he's a
yeah,
pastor.
yes. Yeah. And
Not
that,
him.
yeah. I was like, that could be biased in some regards. Yeah.
Not him. Um, but Love is Blind is the one on Netflix where you're talking to someone through the wall.
Okay.
You don't know what they look like until you say, "Yes, I will marry you."
Yeah.
And then you get to meet them. And
And curve them or not.
yeah.
Because I've seen it where
So
people curve them after they meet.
the first the first season was so dramatic. So dramatic. Um But yeah, again, that's something else that I would never do.
Hmm.
Because I'm not going to say that I can say yes to you and I have no idea what you look like. Like, you can tell me anything. And that's what I want people to understand. People do say anything.
Yeah.
It's the actions that matter. And so if I can't be there to feel the actions, to see how I feel when you walk up, like it's
Hmm.
not given. I'm going to say yes to committing my life with you.
That's a big one. Go to
Go to the
therapy.
I'm wearing this sweatshirt to work this week
Ew.
so that I can, one, advocate for the students to get therapy, but two, gently nudge those adults
Mm,
because they, boy, do they need it.
it's the shoulder for me.
But I do think that a lot of these shows could be a lot better if they did have therapists on hand. So, like Bad Girls Club, they did end up bringing a coach, I believe, who was doing
Life
like
coach.
anger, a life coach. Yeah.
Girl.
Um, she said, "Ciao." But I do think that that would make a difference in like what's happening. So like Jocelyn's Cabaret, let's say Jocelyn had a therapist, you know, and she found out, hey, maybe you shouldn't try to motivate people by calling them
A
$2
bondage.
hoes
Oh, that too.
or telling them that you'll whoop their ass. Like, you know, we can find some more positive
Ways,
reinforcement
yeah. Reinforcements and ways to connect. Yeah,
to connect in a healthy and appropriate manner, you know.
yeah.
Um, I would love to be a therapist to these reality people because they need to go to
Yeah.
therapy.
But we always see the same. If you notice a lot of the, especially the Housewives franchises, it's the same guy that is the therapist to all of them. And
Mm,
one, I feel like there's some bias in there, right? You can't be everybody
mhm,
this on every show. Um,
right.
but two, like not even help navigate this bullshit. Um,
Right.
and let it be someone shout out like it, honestly, let it be someone like America, right? That's gonna
Hmm.
like call you on your shit. It keep
Right.
it 100 with you. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We should start
definitely. You said start a what?
an agency for that.
Right. I want to figure it out, honey, because I could be of assistance to a lot of these people.
Never with that bit, girl.
Yes. Um, But I do just kind of want to remind everyone, like I said, to make sure that you are checking in on your diet. And your diet is not only what you're eating, but what you're consuming, what you're watching, who you're following, and things like that. Um, if you feel yourself getting like frustrated when you see people's posts, like feel free to mute,
Mm,
unfollow. Let's not give it so much energy and power. Like, let's just do what it is, and it is protecting your peace. So, um, when it comes to reality TV, remember that it's not real. Like, they are telling these people, hey, you're going to this lunch here, and then that person that they fucking hate walks in.
yeah, it's a setup.
It is. And so I want you to think about the ways that you can alleviate some of that negativity that may come up with you wanting to like confront people and be on top of them and things like that. Like what you see in reality TV does not have to impact you in that sense.
Yeah. The
You
piggyback
guys,
off of that, before we close it, I just want to say there are also other ways that you can escape your reality. It doesn't have to be with reality TV. You could go
it
for
could be reading.
It could definitely, like 100%, go read a book, especially like a good murder mystery if you're into that
Mm-hmm.
suspenseful.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna just ignite your imagination. You know, how many? When's the last time as an adult you've used your imagination? Think about that. If you play video games, use that as a means to just escape your reality in a healthy way.
Mm-hmm.
Set boundaries on those types of things as well. But um, just get down to the root cause of it. If you need an escape, find other means, things that are help,
Mm-hmm.
that are going to
And
truly help you do that.
right. And that will help you to continue working for the life that you want, right? Because we can't say that we want this positive life and our only means of entertainment is watching the most negative shit ever.
Mm, that part.
It ain't gonna happen. So make sure you're checking in with yourself and saying, like, what are some habits I may need to break,
Mhm.
change, adjust, and just making those adjustments as you see fit. But I enjoyed the Jasmine show, you know,
But
chit chatting on reality TV and all that comes with it.
yes,
Hopefully, you all got something good out of this conversation. And I hope that you remember that you can drink a whole gallon of water a day. You can hit the gym for 2 hours a day. You can hit 12,000 steps a day. You can also go to, what were you doing? Reformer Pilates
I sure the fuck was for $250 a month.
for 250 a month. But
Wow,
if you're ignoring the things going on in your head and in your heart, then you're still not really healthy. So go on ahead and seek therapy.
do it, do it.
Seek therapy.
And also, just one
Because
last. Oh, I'm sorry. Just one last shout out to America, who is taking a restful Sunday. He
yes,
is doing the damn thing. That is
sending
this week.
right. Sending all the love to our girl America and to y'all. And we will see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.